Have you ever noticed that most people spend their entire lives working for money, but only a small number of people reach a point where money starts working for them? In this video, you are going to understand the real difference between earning income and building wealth, and how shifting your mindset from labor to leverage can completely change your financial future. Most people grow up believing that working harder automatically leads to becoming richer. From school to adulthood, the system teaches us to study, get a job, work more hours, and hope for promotions. This path can provide stability, but it rarely creates financial freedom. The reason is simple: when you only trade time for money, your income always has a limit. There are only 24 hours in a day. Even if someone works harder than everyone else, their time is still limited. That means their income is limited too. This is why many hardworking people still struggle financially. Effort alone does not create wealth, strategy does. When people say work for money, they usually mean earning a salary or wages. This is called active income. Active income depends directly on your time and energy. The moment you stop working, the income stops too. Jobs are important and necessary, but they are only the first step in financial growth. Wealth begins when income becomes less dependent on time. This is where the idea of money working for you starts. Money begins working for you when you own assets that generate income without constant effort. These assets could be investments, businesses, or systems that produce value continuously. For example, imagine two people earning the same salary. The first person spends everything on lifestyle upgrades, better car, bigger apartment, expensive habits. The second person spends carefully and invests part of their income every month. After several years, their financial lives look completely different, even though they started at the same point. The difference is not income, the difference is behavior. When money is invested instead of consumed, it can grow through compounding. Compounding means your money earns returns, and those returns earn more returns over time. This is one of the most powerful financial forces in the world, yet many people never use it. Working for money keeps you busy today. Making money work for you protects your future. This idea does not mean quitting your job immediately or taking big risks. It means gradually moving from dependence on a paycheck toward ownership of income producing assets. The transition is slow, but it is life changing. In the United States and many developed economies, the financial system rewards ownership more than labor. People who own stocks benefit when companies grow. People who own property benefit when real estate values rise. People who build businesses benefit when customers return again and again. Meanwhile, people who rely only on wages must constantly exchange time for income. This creates financial pressure, especially when inflation increases the cost of living. Inflation quietly reduces purchasing power over time. If income stays the same but expenses rise, saving becomes harder. This is why many people feel stuck financially even when they are working full time. Assets help solve this problem because they can grow faster than inflation. Investments in productive systems like businesses, markets, or technology allow money to multiply instead of slowly losing value. Another important difference between working for money and having money work for you is control. When your income depends only on employment, unexpected changes like layoffs or economic slowdowns can affect your stability. But when income comes from multiple sources, financial stress becomes easier to manage. Diversification is not just a strategy for investors, it is a strategy for life. Multiple income streams reduce risk and increase freedom. This does not happen overnight. Every person who builds wealth starts with the same foundation, earning income first. The key is what happens after earning begins. Saving, investing, and learning financial skills determine long term outcomes. Financial education plays a major role here. Schools often teach how to earn money but rarely teach how to grow it. Understanding investing, debt management, risk, and long term planning gives people an advantage that hard work alone cannot provide. One common mistake people make is believing they need a large amount of money to start investing. In reality, consistency matters more than size. Small investments made regularly can grow significantly over time because of compounding. Another mistake is focusing only on income instead of financial systems. Income is important, but systems create sustainability. A system could be a business process, automated investment plan, or digital product that continues generating value. Technology has made it easier than ever for money to work independently. Online businesses, digital assets, automated investing, and global markets allow individuals to participate in economic growth without being physically present at all times. This shift is changing how wealth is built in modern economies. The people who understand leverage, ownership, and systems often move ahead financially even if they did not start with advantages. Leverage simply means using tools that multiply effort, capital, technology, and skills are all forms of leverage. When combined correctly, they allow money to grow faster than individual labor alone. Consider a simple example. If someone saves money in a bank account with minimal interest, growth is slow. But if the same money is invested in productive assets, growth can accelerate over time. The difference between these choices becomes huge after many years. Patience is one of the most underrated financial skills. People often look for quick results, but wealth usually grows slowly at first and faster later. Understanding this timeline prevents frustration and encourages consistency. Financial independence is not about stopping work entirely. It is about having the choice to work without being forced by financial pressure. When money works for you, decisions become less stressful and more intentional. This is why the mindset shift from working for money to building assets is so important. It changes how people think about spending, saving, and investing. Instead of asking, "What can I buy today?" the question becomes, "What can I build for tomorrow?" Over time, this small shift in thinking leads to large differences in financial outcomes. The goal is not to avoid work, the goal is to make work create long term value. Income should become the fuel for building assets, not just funding expenses. Many successful investors and entrepreneurs follow this principle. They use earned income as a tool to acquire assets that produce future income. This cycle repeats until financial stability grows stronger. Anyone can begin this process regardless of starting point. The most important step is awareness. Once people understand the difference between earning and investing, their financial decisions start to change. Money is not just something to spend, it is something that can be directed, multiplied, and managed. The sooner someone learns this, the more time compounding has to work in their favor. Time and consistency together can transform small financial steps into meaningful progress. Even modest investments made regularly can grow into significant resources over decades. This is how money begins to work for you. The moral lesson is simple. Working for money builds survival, but making money work for you builds freedom. If you want to keep learning how money works in simple and practical ways, subscribe to Arsam Explains Money.